Have you ever said this sentence? If I was rich, I would buy a car. Sounds correct, right? But many English teachers will say this is wrong. So, what is correct? If I were rich or if I was rich? Both sound similar, but they do not mean the same thing. In this video, you will finally understand the real difference between if I were and if I was. Why native speakers use both, which one is grammatically correct, and how you can use them confidently without confusion. So, watch till the end because this one rule can instantly improve your English. Why this confusion happens? English learners are confused because was is past tense, were is also past tense. Both are used with if. So naturally, people think what's the difference? But the real difference is not tense. The difference is reality versus imagination. Let me explain. Now let us see the basic rule. If the sentence expresses the real or possible situation, then use if I was. If the sentence expresses imaginary or unreal situation, then use if I were. This rule alone can solve 90% of confusion. What does if I were mean? If I were is used for imaginary situations, unreal conditions, hypothetical thoughts, dreams, wishes, impossible or unlikely situations. Even though I represents singular, we still use were. This is called the subjunctive mood in English. Now let us see some examples. If I were rich, I would buy a big house. But the actual situation is I am not rich. It is just an imagination. Now let us see another example. If I were you, I would apologize. But I can't be you forever. So this is highly impossible. Now let us see another example. If I were a bird, I could fly. This is completely imaginary. Now let us see another example. If I were the prime minister, I could change the law. This is not real right now. Have you noticed something? All these sentences talk about things that are not true now. Please remember, you'll never say, I was you. Always use, if I were you. This is one of the most English mistakes in the world. Now let us talk about if I was. If I was is used for real situations in the past. Secondly, for possible situations. And finally, for things that might actually be true. Now let us see some examples. If I was rude yesterday, I apologize. Now let us see another example. If I was late to the meeting, it was because of traffic. Now let us see another example. If I was wrong, please correct me. Now let us see another example. If I was at the party, I don't remember seeing him. Now observe, all these sentences are about real life, but not imagination. Now let's compare the same sentence with different meanings. If I were rich, I would buy a car. But actually, I'm not rich. If I was rich, I didn't show it. This sentence expresses the situation that I may be rich in the past. If I were wrong, I would accept it. This sentence is talking about a feeling which is completely imaginary. If I was wrong yesterday, I apologize. This sentence is talking about a real past event. Now let us know the difference between formal usage and informal usage. Now let us see in formal English. The grammar books prefer if I were. Exams also prefer if I were. And even the academic English uses if I were. Now let us see in spoken or casual English. The native speakers often say if I was, especially in formal conversations. But in important speaking, writing, exams, or interviews, always use if I were for imaginary situations. Remember this simple trick. If the situation is not real, then use were. If the situation is possibly real, then use was. That's it. No confusion and no overthinking. Now let's know some common mistakes to avoid. If I was you, I would quit. This is the wrong one. If I were you, I would quit. This is the correct one. If I was a king, I would help people. This is the wrong one. If I were a king, I would help people. This is the correct one. If I were late yesterday, sorry. This is the wrong one. If I was late yesterday, sorry. This is the correct one. Now let us practice some sentences. Dash you, I would study harder. The answer is if I were. That is, if I were you, I would study harder. Now let us see another sentence. Dash wrong in the meeting. Tell me. The answer is if I was. That is, if I was wrong in the meeting, tell me. Now you know the real difference between if I were and if I was. This small grammar rule can make your English more natural, more confident, more professional. If this video helped you, like, share with your friends, subscribe for more powerful English lessons.